Hello everyone, welcome to a live session on education and AI, a glorious future ahead. Today we'll explore the transformative potential of artificial intelligence in education. As we progress through the 21st century, AI is reshaping education by providing personalized learning experiences, intelligent tutoring, and automating administrative tasks. So, these advancements promise to make quality education more accessible and efficient. So, let's embark on this exciting journey to explore the future of education and AI together. Adding to the excitement of today's session, we are honored to have Mr. Tarun Anand join us. Tarun Anand is the founder and chancellor of Universal AI University, India's first AI university, and established Universal Business School, India's first Green Bee School in Mumbai. Prior to this, he was the youngest managing director, Thomson Reuters South Asia. He served as global head of treasury, leading a $2 billion business across 136 countries and served on the Global Innovation and Venture Board at Reuters. He has worked in London, New York, and Hong Kong and across 50 plus countries across 6 continents. He is a TEDx speaker and was awarded Education and Evangelist of India by Great Place to Study. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, Rushali.
Pleasure is all ours, sir. Now it's time to dive into a short and exciting opening keynote. So my first question to you, sir, would be that in what ways can AI personalize learning experience according to you, and how to cater to individual student needs and learning styles?
Thank you for having me on this wonderful discussion on artificial intelligence. I think AI is going to be very, very transformative in the whole area of individual student needs. So, we talked about post COVID adaptive nature of learning, right? Every student is unique, is different, and therefore, how can we personalize the entire learning process through AI? So, if a student is weak in, let's say, maths, you can give him more exercises in maths. If a student is poor in technology, you can serve him more technology related things so that he gets better at it. So I think the important thing is not only just the content, but it's also the delivery. So certain students, work better on audio. Certain students work better on video. So what can we give in terms of the kind of content that can be customized is another breakthrough which will come through with the AI. Then the fun part is the real time feedback. So in any adaptive nature of learning, you have, how is the student progressing, and he or she knows instantaneously. In our current traditional education system, you know it at the end of 6 months, or when the exam happens, you wait for results. This is in real time. So that's a huge change. And then you get personalized recommendations, right? So that you can tailor make your learning in and bring the student up to speed. And finally, I'll just highlight, like in the HR field, if you want HR analytics to look at employee engagement, or you want marketing analytics you use for understanding, let's say, consumer behavior. Similarly, you have learning analytics, which you are very, very easy to look at student learning trajectories, right? Which will help you understand how can we stimulate each student to a higher level. And these are some of the wonderful tools that we have in our ammunition that we can use in the new world of AI.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful answer. And adding to some of to your points, that a personalized learning through AI, as you said, can revolutionize education by adapting content to match each student's pace and learning style. So definitely by providing real-time feedback and by identifying areas where students lack understanding, AI can suggest strategies that improve outcomes. So AI can also
For AI to work, we need amazing technology. So that's a critical requirement. Just give us a few seconds to get back on show. Incoming call.
Yeah, we can continue with the answer, sir.
So I've completed the answer on that. If you want to further, you had a further follow up question.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, now let's move on to our next segment, that is the myth busting round, where we debunk common myths and misconceptions. So, I would like to ask you, like, will the use of AI in education lead to a loss of the human touch and emotional support that teachers provide? And because this is the common myth these days, and how can AI complement rather than replace human interaction?
Okay, so I'll just take a step back because I thought I'd answered the previous question. So, very quickly, the positive outcomes, and then I'll answer this question. You know, how the video gaming industry works. It ensures addiction. You know, children are addicted to the video gaming. Why can't that same, imagine that same principle used by the gaming industry can be used by, higher education or even, post-grad education, where we increase the student engagement levels and in a gamification fashion, so that there are reward systems built in. Therefore, the student gets completely engaged. He wants to, get that additional gold coin or whatever. And that can be done very, very amazingly in the AI powered learning. And one thing we've tried out is we have what is called a 24/7, we call it Guruji. It's an AI powered bot which sits in, and we know student, faculty need to go out. They need to take breaks. They're not available 24/7, but learning should not stop. So the positive outcome of this AI bot, which is basically when you go in front of it, it recognizes who you are. So they will say, hi, good morning, good afternoon, and then they move to the next level where they can actually answer your questions when the faculty is not there. So you have a 24/7 learning experience, and it doesn't have to stop because you're physically not in the classroom, or you're physically not there available, 24/7. So that's the wow fact, that AI can recognize you, understand you, and then continue to do. Now, coming to your myth busting question, I think, AI as a tool will help faculty. It is proven that it helps faculty produce better course. They can use it for developing a great course construction, a recommendation engine for case studies, tools that should be used. But let's not forget, no one can take the importance of human faculty adaptability, humor, empathy. AI has reached narrow intelligence and can beat a chess player in a very focused game. But of course, there are bets on that it's moving into what we call artificial general intelligence. But I believe we are miles away from that. I know a lot of money is going in that direction. But imagine a faculty during a class, you ask a few questions, then you take a few rounds of context for the, let's say, the Indian elections, then you crack a joke, then you get into an emotional response because someone's students' parents are having a tough time in an entrepreneurial setting. Imagine bringing all of that into your lecture. We are far from that day. And that's where the wow factor of humans and the general intelligence that we have, that we can change gears and in the same spiel, understand, empathize with the student. I think that's not going away for a long time.
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you for answering this question in such a wonderful manner, sir. It completely addressed this important myth. And yes, what you have said, I can summarize it in few words. That yes, definitely, and AI can enhance education by handling administrative tasks and by providing personalized learning. And by doing so, it will allow teachers to focus more on emotional support and human interaction. And yeah, definitely, rather than replacing teachers, AI can serve as a powerful tool that complement their roles, and thus they enable them to create a more balanced and supportive learning environment. So thank you so much, sir, for addressing this myth. Coming on to the next myth, that some people have, that will reliance on AI make students and teachers overly dependent on technology, and thus thereby reducing critical thinking and problem solving skills.
So I think I'll reiterate that I see AI as a huge complement to the learning process. So I'm going to talk about the Harvard University experiment. So Harvard said we'll create two classrooms, one which will be powered where the students and faculty have access to AI, and the other one where they have no access to technology, right? The traditional world pre AI. And then they said, let's now look at the outcomes that this class, and they were doing a case study. Now, it was so amazing that the class which had AI being used by the students, the level of discussion, the level of interaction, the level of debate and discussion was of a higher premium because the basic stuff was covered, and the ideation process, AI set a foundation, and then students in a pure learning environment, along with the facilitator, took the discussion to a much higher level than what you would see in the typical classroom without AI. So it's clear that AI accentuates the entire performance. There's no doubt about it. Now, I believe, critical thinking and problem solving skills are the essence of learning. And this can be learned only through experiential learning. Of course, these case studies will give you some insights into it, but experiential learning is when the student is actually in a situation where they need to understand the situation, the context, the history, the relevance, the paucity of probable outcomes, and then in a multidisciplinary approach try and solve it, right? So critically analyze the situation and then solve the solution. And that's what we call CMAPS, which is what we follow here, which is called collaborative multidisciplinary approach towards problem solving. Students have to actually solve a problem. That's what industry pays you for. That's what you will get large increments in your thing, because you're solving problems. But the only way to solve problems is like learning to solve them is by solving them, right? You can't have a textbook to how to solve it. You've got to do it. And I think the more emphasis that is given on experiential learning is going to ensure that this myth is completely busted.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes, sir. The myth is completely busted, and thank you for sharing the Harvard case study or the example with us. That definitely gave a wider viewpoint to the situation. And yes, if I want to add to your point, that AI can definitely aid in education, and yes, it's essential to balance its use to ensure students and teachers to maintain that critical thinking and problem solving skills. And by integrating AI as a supplementary tool rather than a crutch, we can enhance learning experiences without diminishing the development of these crucial skills. So, coming on to our next segment, that is the expert advice segment, sir. So, how can AI be used to develop critical thinking and problem solving skills in students rather than just providing them with answers?
So this is where again I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat CMAPs, which I already elaborated.
Yes.
But basically, the starting point is asking the right question, right probing questions. Whether you can do that, whether you're in the real world or you're in the chat GPT world, where prompt engineering will allow you to the principles of asking the right questions to chat GPT. Same thing in the real world. If we can create a situation where the students are actually put in a problem, and they have to solve it for industry, and that's what you call real world problem solving, where the first essence is asking the right question. Then you also can create simulations into the curriculum, which can adapt in real time, right, with multiple scenarios thrown in, so that you're looking at the adaptability, the dexterity, the agility of students, and then they have to react to these situations. And then I think the other point I would like to make is on the peer to peer learning. So I think in
Yes.
every experiential learning thematic that you use in the classroom, where there are peers involved, you get different perspectives uh, and a better insight not only from the faculty or the facilitator but also from the peers. So you have AI as an input which could set the base. You have the facilitator who takes you into certain directions, and then you have the learnings of the peers that also add to all of this, the learning. So it accentuates the learning, and I think that's what is going to be providing the answers that you're looking for.
Yeah. Thank you so much for shedding light on this important aspect of AI. And yeah, as you mentioned, that AI can encourage critical thinking and problem solving by presenting challenges that require students to analyze, also evaluate, and synthesize information. And by doing so, by providing feedback based on this reasoning and logic rather than just delivering answers, AI can definitely foster a deeper understanding and cultivate essential cognitive skills. So, by integrating AI in this manner, will empower students to become independent thinkers and innovative problem solvers in the coming future, definitely. So, coming to our next question, sir. So, how can educators involve and inform parents about the use of AI in their children's education to gain their support and understanding in the same?
So, in the education ecosystem, of course, it's the faculty. We talked about the peers, the other students, and the
Yeah.
parents are very, very critical. So, I think the most important thing is to proactively share the benefits like efficiency, speed, a great wide perspective that AI can bring to the table, as well as the risks and drawbacks, right? So we need to be make sure that we share both with our parents. We need to also understand the consequences, right? So that we are very clear that every student must be armed to learn how to deal with AI, being an AI university. But don't be afraid of AI. You should only be afraid of losing your job to someone who is using AI, right? As I often say, AI will take your jobs, but to the next level. So you've got to make sure you ride this tiger and not get overawed by it, which is kind of what some of the media puts out there. So, how do you understand data? How do you design the algorithms? How do you clean the data? How do you understand the algorithms which give you a more predictive analysis? How can the data become more intelligent? How can the data talk? How can the algorithms work to become better algorithms so that they cull out the data more efficiently and give more intuitively better decision making capabilities? So I think when this is set forth to the parents, I'm sure they were going to appreciate it. And also, we've collaborated with companies, right? We've collaborated with LTI Mindtree, making sure that the AI curriculum is coming from industry, right? This allows students to save a year of their life, and that's what the whole thing is. So parents start appreciating, oh wow, if it's an industry backed curriculum, if it is going to save a year of my child's life, if it's going to benefit. And of course there are risks, right? So there are areas where AI is going to make a difficulty. As long as we understand that, I think parents will be along with this journey.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Thank you for addressing this crucial aspect. And yes, as you mentioned, that is important to for the educators to engage with parents, and we can do this through transparent communication. And schools can provide workshops to the, or universities can provide workshop to the parents to tell them about the importance of AI, and sharing resources to educate them about AI's role in enhancing their children's education, as you mentioned. And by fostering collaboration and demonstrating the benefits of AI in personalized learning and skill development, educators can gain parent support and understanding. So, this will ensure a holistic approach to the children's education only. So, coming towards the end, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to you, sir, for gracing today's live session with your valuable insights and expertise, and your contribution have enriched the discussion and provided us with a deeper understanding of the intersection between education and AI. And your perspectives have undoubtedly inspired us to explore new horizons and possibilities in the dynamic field. So, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your knowledge with us today.
Thank you, Roshali. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. So,
Bye.
to all our attendees, let's keep the conversation alive beyond today's session. Get ready for more dynamic live discussions coming your way soon. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.